Amruta, I am so honored to have you on Filme Shilmy today. You have been making headlines, I think, since so many years now, and you've always been so talented. And I think just to have this goo with you, I think is just a big, big deal. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Anuj, and I'm so happy that we are chatting today and really honored to be part of this.
Yes, exactly. The excitement is I'm definitely really excited, and I think it's going to be a great chat. But I think firstly, a huge congratulations on Bombay Begums. I watched your performance, and I think it was fabulous. I think it was definitely another feather to your hat for sure. But tell me,
Thank you.
Amrita, what significance does the series and a character like Lily have on you as an artist and as a person as well?
Lily was completely out of my space, and I always look for characters which are unique in that sense, because Lily was something I had never seen someone like her. So it was a very unique experience to portray her, and I was very fortunate because Alankrita has written. She has shown so many complexities of Lily, and she made me meet Reshma Appa, who herself was a bar dancer, and then I went to Kamatipura to meet Reshma Appa, and then Reshma Appa taught me how to dance. Because see, there are different kind of dances, but Lily is a bar dancer, and the way she would dance, so it was a different kind of training, and Reshma Appa, opened her heart for me. She loved me, and she taught me so many things that it has been a very exciting experience to, do Lily. So Reshma Appa is the biggest influence for Lily, though.
Yeah, I heard about that. And I heard like she sort of taught you how to dance as well and to sort of present that character almost as
Yeah,
realistically as possible, right?
yeah, because and the most exciting thing was dancing, because I love dancing, and I'm very happy that I got to dance in this series and seduce while dancing. So Reshma Appa taught me that. So it's not only dance. She's like, hey, you have to catch the attention. You have to be that diva. All that stuff. Petra, she told me what to do with my hair. How latke and
Wow.
jhatke I have to do, and I have to seduce. So she taught me all of that. So it was so exciting.
That is so interesting. This is almost like your mini Gangubai moment, isn't it? Really? Because because you had to
That
kind of
is
go
so
to
sweet.
because you had to go to Kamatipura to learn. And I think Kamatipura now, I think everyone recognizes because of the teaser and because of Gangubai's story. So I think
Yeah,
we're kind of
yeah.
familiar with that now. So, but that's really interesting. And I think it must have been quite cool for you to kind of, I guess, shrug off Amruta and just completely mold yourself and surrender yourself to that character as well, right?
Yeah, very well said. Yes, it was, because as I said, it was completely out of my. And the most important thing was, I didn't want to be inhibited, in any sense, because she is a bar dancer who, because the bars are closed now, she has to become a prostitute to make both ends meet. So in her profession, she can't be inhibited because she's doing that thing every day. So it's her profession. So that was challenging for me, that to imbibe that. So it has been a very challenging experience, but you know what,
Mm.
I like that, because I want to be I want that some character makes you vulnerable once again, and it makes you
Yeah.
scared once again. Then I
Yeah.
was vulnerable and scared, but then that is the fun of it. That is the challenge of it, isn't it?
I'm really glad you mentioned this, and I'm going to segue into my next question actually with that. Like Lily, many of your characters that we've seen you play, there is a vulnerability attached to them, and I also find them that they always sort of fight a very grim situation on a daily basis. The first, first reference point that comes to my mind is Razia from Gully Boy, right? For example. As an actor, how are you able to understand such roles like Lily, like Razia, like these vulnerable characters who are fighting these grim situations on a daily basis? And what helps you to sort of present them as organically as possible on screen?
So each character, there is a different journey, and I always try and meet people who might give me something about the character, as I told you about Reshma Appa. And I think when your need is strong, universe conspires for you. So with every character, I have met these my angel helpers. So like for Razia, my husband is also an actor who played Nawaz's father in Sacred Games, the Pandit. So
Yes.
Pandit is married to Kusum Devi Yadav. So he told me that, while I was preparing for Razia, that there's a garden behind my house, and many Razias come there, as in like many Muslim women who are very young and they already have children, and the kind of life Razia is living. So I went in that garden, and I just approached one of the women, and I said, "Could you take me to your home, please?"
Wow.
Yeah. And she's like, "Why?" So I said, I'm doing this. So she didn't, of course, she didn't know me. So I said, this such and such role, could you please take me? And then she took me to her house. She showed me where she lives. And, I just asked her, what if your husband marries and brings someone else, the situation, Gully Boy situation, Razia situation. And then she forgot that it is an imaginary situation, and she was so angry, and she's like, "ऐसे कैसे शादी करेगा आप? हम फौजदार को बुलाएंगे, हम फौजदार को बताएंगे." So I said, "No, it's not true." She said, "No, ऐसे कैसे करेगा?" Like, she forgot that it is imaginary, And then I told Zoya that she was saying, "Na फौजदार को बुलाएंगे." Then Zoya made me say that sentence when Vijay Raj is hitting me, like my husband is hitting me. I keep on saying that sentence. हम फौजदार को बुलाएंगे, हम फौजदार को बुलाएंगे. So these angels have been coming in my life who teach me, who give me their experiences. Otherwise, it will be same. It will be Amrita again and again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need to have some different experience. Otherwise, how can I bring a different soul in front of you? For example, I had done a film called Killa, if you have heard of it. It went to Berlin and it won there. It was a Marathi film. But then I observed, I had to play a mother to a boy. So I observed his actual mother. How is she behaving with him? So like with each role, as you said, it's a different journey, and my angels keep coming as the universe keeps conspiring for me.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. And I think it's quite beautiful to hear that experience as well. But you know what, Amrita, I've got to say, in many of your works, what I've also found is that you seem to have really grasped the mannerisms and the outlook of the common working class people in India, and I think it's something which I've always able to kind of it doesn't take too long for you to convince me that you are that person. So would you say, just sort of following up from what you just said, do you think it is that angels that you kind of have with each project that kind of helps you to bring out that authenticity and organic portrayals as well?
That is such a wonderful question. I really like that question because it is the angels, but it's also my background, my childhood, because my father had this job that we were getting transferred from one place to another place, and also my mother's childhood home, which we call Nanny Hall, was a small village, and we used to go to that village in holidays, and my grandmother, so I have seen villages and village people very closely. And when I was small also, I used to imitate people, I used to just observe, and I'll just pick mannerisms and the tone, So I'll just say, "Oh, how is she sitting? What is she doing?" So it went inside when I was very small, and children are like, they're very sharp, and so I have seen. So my angels go back to my childhood, these angels, of course, I told you about, which I met right now for a particular role. But all these village people, they kept blessing me. They kept teaching me, and not consciously, but unconsciously, I kept on observing them and their laheja, what do you call it? Their toning, intonations, how they talk, the mannerisms. For example, I'm on a chair, but they sit like this. So this was something which
I love it.
This was something that was funny. This was something which I don't do consciously. I will sit like that, and then things will happen like that on their own because I have been in this village since my childhood. So that was the answer. Yeah.
Exactly, and I'm really glad you mentioned this as well. And I think and I actually wanted to kind of take that further. I mean, how important is it? How important is observing, the skill of observing, rather, for an actor? I guess it must be the most paramount skill you need to have, right, for your craft?
Yes, it is. And I was very fortunate to have a mother who herself is an actress. And I don't know whether you are aware, she played my mother-in-law in Gully Boy.
Oh wow! Oh my God!
That's my
Really?
mother.
No way! Oh wow!
Oh,
I did not know that. I'm so sorry. I mean, I was aware that your mother was
no
also a
problem, no
Marathi.
problem. No,
Is
no. Like
also a
many
Marathi
people
actor.
don't know about her. Yeah, yeah. So, yes, so she taught me, since, like, as I was telling you, the background is also important. That I was lucky to be her daughter, because I saw her since the childhood. I saw her the way she was preparing her characters. Like, she has worked with legends. Like, there is a very very well known actor in Marathi called Dr. Shriram Lagu, and she
Uh-huh.
has, yeah. So she when I was small, she did a play with him. And when I used to come home from school, I used to see that, after lunch and everything, she will sit with her script. And I will ask her, what are you doing? Because I hadn't, when we were small, she left acting. Actually, she's from NSD. She's Nasiruddin Shah and Om Puri's batchmate from
Oh
NSD.
wow! Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But when we
amazing.
were, yeah, but when we were small, she left acting because I have a brother, and she was raising us, so she sacrificed her career for us, and that's the biggest thing she did for us, I think. But coming back, when I was in school, I saw her working for the first time, and she was mumbling her dialogues, and I was like, "What are you doing?" So she told me a very important thing, apart from observing, that, she said, you have to be with the character. You have to take out time, alone time with the character on your own. Like, while rehearsing, you will be with the character. On the set, you will be with the character. But you have to have some alone me time with the character. Then only the character will open up with you. Then
Hmm.
only the character will tell you what she is. Otherwise, you will trust what you are on her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that was the best thing she taught me, I think, isn't it?
Oh, very true. And I think that's exactly what Ranveer did, I think, for Padmavat as well, for Khilji. I mean, that's what I had heard, that apparently he had locked himself up for a significant amount of time because he was trying to
Yes.
really get into the skin of the character, which he did as well. And I think it is true. It definitely seems to have worked for him. So I'm pretty
Yes.
sure what your mother's advice to you is definitely words of gospel, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Ranveer told me also, you're right, that, he, even for Padmavat, he told me that he had this process where, he locked himself, and yeah, yeah, right.
Mm. So we were talking about you have like grasping this sort of tonality and the style of characters with of the ordinary working class in Indian society. But I think Dhamaka, I think, seems to be a bit of a game changer, I think, for you on that front. It seems like your character in that is quite astute and quite the strong force, which I believe is something quite different to perhaps what you've done before. Am I right in this judgment?
Definitely, definitely. Wow. And in such a short teaser, you could grasp so much. Like, I congratulate you for that. Smart boy.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
no, I'm really happy that you have seen so many things. Yeah, as you said, like Kusum Devi Yadav was, of course, again, she was in different space. Like, as we were talking about characters which belong to, like, more earthy characters, like Razia, Lily would be one group, and this Kusum Devi Yadav. So this character from Dhamaka would be, she's like, Kusum Devi is, again, she's a raw agent, so she's
In
uh,
the middle, right?
yeah, in the middle. But then this character which you're talking about in Dhamaka is completely, as you said, very dignified. You can see, but yeah, Kusum, she's also cold like Kusum Devi is, and she has also many colors. And but of course, right now I'm not supposed to talk a lot about it. But as you said, yes, I was very happy that I was given that halter neck blouse, and then that sari, and then, this posture, and, because while doing Kusum Devi, yes, she was from that class, but she's not aware of how she looks, because for her work is more important, and of course she's working for our country, so she's like focused on that. But here she's aware of how she looks, she's aware of what power she has on people, and she's powerful, and she's all that. So I was very happy, and she's more, as you said, she's
Astute.
elite and
Hmm.
dignified and all that, and much more than that, which you'll see.
Yeah, no, I definitely got that. But I think just referencing that, and of course Razi and of course Lily in Bombay Begums as well. I think it's wonderful that content nowadays is showing more real characters. You know, these are
Yeah.
characters which are within the fabrics of our society. You'd probably walk past them in the street and you wouldn't even realize that that's them. How satisfied are you with the way such characters are now being portrayed in Indian cinema?
I'm very happy because when I was younger, I used to feel that I want to do meaningful work uh, at every stage of my life, whatever age I am in, and uh, so and I used to think what is going to be my future, but then OTT hadn't happened then to India, and then OTT happened, and things changed, and I think I'm in the best of times for actresses who want to do meaningful and different kind of work, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great turn. Again, universe conspired. I keep on saying universe is my personal manager, so
Well, it would be helpful if the universe had a number to contact them on, so we can fix interviews.
hello universe, yeah, I wanted to.
Oh God.
That is amazing.
We
I
would
love
be
that
kept.
concept.
We would have like 20 options before we got to you. To be honest, if it was the case, I can. You'd be like, इसके लिए ये number दबाइए, उसके लिए वो number दबाइए. I can literally just imagine the situation.
But this is a fantastic thing. If universe had a number, wow. So I remember the dialogue I had in Kusum Devi Yadav. He says, "आपका नाम Mother India के नाम से save कर लेना." So universe could have said that, na? I'm Mother India. No, universe can't be Mother India though. Anyways, but yeah. So as I was telling you, universe has been my personal manager, and then OTT happened. So I'm making it sound like it happened for me personally, right?
Yeah. Do you know what? This
See how
really,
important are you?
yeah, I was gonna say, because I feel like Netflix in particular seems to be very fond of you, Amruta, because you had you've done Sacred Game season 2, you've had Selection Day, Bombay Begums, and now you've got Dhamaka coming up. I believe this. I mean, has this digital sort of foraying onto the digital space been a conscious decision for you, or has it all just been again the universe and that's how it happened?
Universal, because see, I keep flowing. Nothing has been a conscious. The only conscious decision was like I want to be an actress. That was the only conscious decision, because I used to learn dance also. I was singing also. So
yeah.
Yeah. So when I appeared for NSD selection exam, they asked me, "Oh, you dance well, you sing well, then, and you act well. So why are you choosing acting?" So I said, because while acting, I can forget myself. While dancing and singing, that doesn't happen with me. I can't forget myself. I'm there and I want to forget myself. So it was acting. So Marathi commercial theatre, then I went to television. Then I did television. Then I went to Marathi films. And then Shwas was my Marathi first film. So then I came, every new thing coming is giving me opportunity to be a part of, which is like really amazing, so it hasn't been that conscious decision, but things are flowing in such a way that and of course, why not, as I said, I want to do meaningful work. And for example, Kusum Devi Yadav was a male character in the original novel, and then Varun and female character. So this is the most powerful time to be in. So in one of the award ceremonies for Kusum Devi Yadav, I said that may more male roles get converted into female roles. So all male actors were like, "What is she talking about?" So I'm like, "Hey, you have had enough now. Now it's our time. Now the male roles are getting converted into female, and that's going to happen now."
Right. Okay, so I'm speaking a bit more about your craft. I think it's incredible how you're a trained singer. You're literally trained in theater as well as a dancer. You have all these wonderful attributes to you as an artist. In what way do you think these former experiences or these initial experiences that you had at the beginning of your career has really helped you in understanding the craft well, and perhaps the styles of work you choose to pursue as well?
Yeah, because yes, as I was saying, music, dance, and acting, they are like they're sisters. They keep complementing each other. That's what I think, because the sense of timing is also in music also, in dance also, in acting also. Like when we are doing, for example, if you're doing a comedy thing, the sense of timing is of utmost importance. Like, for example, when I did Choked with Anurag Kashyap on Netflix, Choked. So it was not a comedy kind of thing, but yes, there was this comic thing. So the timing was extremely important. Like, I'm crying here and I'm saying, hey, gas band kar, gas band kar. So that timing, that is also music, that is also dance. Like, sometimes like you do that, and if the beat is missed, then it is missed. Like, so I think it complements each other. Like, all these three, acting and music has given a lot to my acting. Dancing and music has given a lot to my acting, and I'm really thankful for that. Yeah.
I definitely think that as well. Actually, do you know what, Amruta? I was wondering, because you sing so well and you are classically trained, would you be able to sing a few lines for us? Like, kuch ga sakte ho aap hamare liye?
Sure. I love this Hindi song. I love what it says basically. आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता लो, पल ये जो जाने वाला है, आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, जाने वाला है, जाने वाला है.
Bravo. That was lovely, Amruta. Oh my God, you sing so well. I would like you to, I don't know if you have in the Marathi films that you've worked in already, but I would love to hear you sing in like more like of the Hindi films you do. It'd be wonderful to hear that.
Thank you so much. Yes, I have sung some Marathi songs, but in Hindi I want to sing more. Yes. Yeah. With your blessings, let that happen now.
Absolutely. No, I'm sure, definitely. I'm sure I'm waiting for that moment. And I think it will be wonderful because we can go back to this interview and be like, oh, Amruta, aapko yaad hai jab humne ye baat ki thi and it actually happened. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as well.
Thank you, Anuj. My personal manager is listening to you.
That's wonderful. I think what I've got to address here, Amruta, is that actually you have a very interesting connection with the Oscars. Actually, because the debut film that you entered the industry with was actually India's official submission for the Oscars in 2004, and then we had Gully Boy, which was also shortlisted as well. Yeah. Isn't this really how does that feel? Like when you actually think about it now, like have you ever thought about that deeply, or how does that make you feel when you actually kind of reflect back on that?
Of course, it makes me feel really grateful that I was part of both these films. And, I realized that even many of my films have been to national awards, because I think what I've been doing in my journey is like, I'm a very, I can't let good content go, and that has made this happen. I have, when the content is good, I grab it. I'm very greedy for good content. And I grab it. Like once upon a time, I used to say good content is my lover. I chase him. So that has been the trick. Because right from Shwas, all the films I do, I have said no to a lot of work, but the films I do, most of them have been films of good content, and that's why they have reached where they have reached. May Shwas or be Gully Boy or many other films like Killa went to Berlin. So each and every film, that film was like it had good content, and maybe it's because of that my mama, like my mother's brother, he was a very understanding good content has been given to me by him. He used to teach in JNU. So I think we were talking about the background, how important it is. So he made me read certain books. And my grandmother, I told you about in the village, she started the first library in that village. So she made me read many books, my grandmother, So because I read good books, good Marathi books, you know, I was in connection with good content since childhood, and then I started recognizing good content since childhood. So I think that is the key. I think that, you know, this thing has happened because content ki bina to I don't think actors
Absolutely.
can survive.
Absolutely. And as they say, content is king or queen, for that matter. And I think I definitely vouch for that too.
Yeah,
I think, it's wonderful to see non-Hindi cinema and Indian films generally receive so much popularity nowadays. And I think even Marathi cinema, for that matter, as well, is doing
yeah.
great. What do you think is contributing towards that popularity and that increase of success rate that it's getting?
I think, you know, as I was talking to you about very powerful times I am in, we were talking about OTT at that time. At the same time, uh, I have been fortunate to be in times where in Marathi, you know, there have been so many new filmmakers who want to tell their story on their terms without any compromise, you know, in their voice. And, you know, in so that has been it's kind of a strong movement in Marathi, you know, like Umesh Kulkarni, Avinash Arun, all like on my the directors with whom I started, Sumitra Bhave, Sunil Suktankar. So all these people made movies. They happened to be in Marathi, but they had their own narrative styles. They had their own content, and they wanted to say something which was their own in a style which was their own. They were not thinking about if we put it like this, then people will like it. You know, it was very uncompromising thing, and I was fortunate to be a part of this movement. I would say. I remember when I was doing Raman Raghav with Anurag and Nawaz.
Yeah.
Nawaz said, "Yaar, तेरे मराठी में कितना अच्छा काम हो रहा है यार," because Kila was just out, and then he was like, "My God, your Marathi films are producing such strong content, man." You know, he was saying that to me, and I felt so proud that, you know, even people who are not Maharashtrian are aware that, you know, this thing is happening. But I think it's again this non-compromising filmmakers who want to tell their stories in their own voice. You know, that has done all this miracle.
Very well said, I think.
Nagaraj Manjula is once again that is also a very important name which I forgot to mention. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think Amruta, over time, as we've spoken about, you've done some incredible work. And like I said, your first film was it Shwas in Marathi, which obviously was India's official submission to the Oscars, and you've done some great work on stage and in film as well. But I think Gully Boy obviously suddenly almost made you seem like this new discovery or this new kind of like I feel like the reception you got from it almost made you seem like as if you were a debutante. I mean, did you ever feel that as well? How did you feel about those reactions at that time?
Yeah, that's yeah, because yeah, of course, the kind of audience Gully Boy had, of course, it was in Hindi, and they thought like that. You're really right, and many people didn't know me before that. So it's great, but at the same time it's funny also, like, because I've been working for many years now, so
Yeah.
it's funny also. But at the same time, yeah, it helped me. It was a game changer for me working in Gully Boy, because suddenly many people and the people I wanted to work with saw my work and I could reach them. So that was amazing, I think. But we were recently also talking about this issue which you said, like some actor gets noticed in that film and we think that it's his first film, then he or she, they go a long way. Like for example, we were talking about Pratik. So we think that Scam, when Scam came, we were like, wow, Pratik. But then Pratik has a long journey. That's what we were talking about recently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. And this is and I've actually interviewed Pratik as well. And even Adarsh Gaurav, for example, in The White Tiger.
Adarsh, yeah.
Everyone's like, oh my God, Adarsh is amazing. People call him a debutant. I was like, no, he's not a debutant. He's been working in the industry for such a long time. He was in My Name is Khan in one of his first film experiences. And it's interesting, isn't it, to how people's
but the good point in this is like actors like Adarsh and Pratik, they get that kind of recognition, and then isn't that amazing that, I'm so happy for when that actor is working so hard for so many years and then finally he getting that kind of recognition which he deserves. It's
Mm.
really amazing that they're getting, Adarsh is now nominated where and with whom, and my God, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because as far as I've got to know you in the conversation that we're just having, you seem to be someone who is very positive and optimistic and very hopeful.
Yeah.
But कभी-कभी आपको दुख नहीं होता है कि जब लोग आपको अपने पहले काम से नहीं पहचानते, लेकिन एक फिल्म आती है और फिर आपको सब लोग तारीफ करते रहते हैं? Like, do you ever feel that sense of malal, that sense of like, यार बहुत मेहनत की है मैंने, अब अभी क्यों? Like, do you ever feel that?
See, yeah, so there are some low phases, of course, but then let me share something with you, which really helps me.
Hmm.
You know, uh, I take psychotherapy, and I've been taking it for years now because of some personal reasons. My father had Alzheimer's, and then it took a toll on me, and then I was very sad about it, and I started my therapy with that personal reason. But then it has, I have still continued with it, and it has helped me to keep my balance, whether my career is going up or down. It doesn't, you need to have that balanced mind if you want to be here for longer time, because if your happiness and if your balance is dependent on what's happening there out there, then it can go here and there, right? So you need some solid centered thing inside you, to face, because any field is like, it has ups and downs. So right now Lily is here, and then there might be a time where I'm not liking some scripts and I'm not accepting some scripts, and then I'm not working, but at that time I need to have a balance here and sanity, I would say. So my psychotherapy helps me with that. And I think we actors are maybe more vulnerable, because vulnerability is the tool we are playing with, because
Right.
to own a character also, my vulnerability is helping me, but that vulnerability sometimes in actual life can become difficult to handle, you know what I mean? So for that we need resources, and my psychotherapy has given me amazing resources to deal with this. So frankly, yes, I'm looking forward to good work, of course, but then I'm not like, my survival doesn't depend on that,
Yeah.
So like my mental survival, I'm saying. And I really wish more and more people, because still there is taboo as far as psychotherapy is concerned. Still,
Massively.
we feel that, yeah, but I really hope that more and more people take advantage of that science, which is doing amazing things. That science is doing amazing things with people. So I really hope that more and more people who are suffering, because I see many people around me who are suffering with depression or other issues, but even people around them are saying, oh, you're not mad, why are you going to psychotherapy? So there's this thing around it, that but if you are not physically well, you go to a doctor. So if you're not feeling mentally well, you should go to a therapist, and why not? So that thing has kept me, whatever.
I'm so glad. Thank you
Going.
so much for sharing that, Amruta, because I think it is very important to tell the viewers as well through our medium that it is very difficult. And I think for actors, I feel you're right. I feel like you are more susceptible to finding difficulties, I believe, managing the work that you do and managing a good mental health, because I guess you're in and out of so many characters. I guess एक छाप रह जाती है ना एक character आपके ज़हन में. I'm sure that's probably what happens with you too, right?
My husband says one thing very funnily, like, he doesn't want to compare me with anyone, but like there is Laurence Olivier की wife ने एक किताब लिखी थी, Men in My Life, Men in My Life, because Laurence Olivier was like, he used to play different characters and he would become that character. So Sandesh, sometimes my husband keeps on saying, I want to write a book, Women in My Life, because that thing happens, as you were saying, going in a character, going in depth and being in there, like, and then just completely there, immersed there. Sometimes it also takes a toll. Yeah, you're right. You need to have that balance. Yeah.
Amazing. I remember you said something in your just earlier response, that when you were sharing that experience with us, you did mention about rejecting so many scripts and accepting scripts and all of that. So
yeah.
what makes you reject or accept a certain script? What What makes you do that?
Okay. This the first time I read the script, I read it as an audience, and it has to, as a common audience, it has to touch me in some of the ways. That is the first thing. So Nasiruddin Shah was my teacher in NSD, as I told you, and then he told me a very important thing: which character to accept and which not to accept. So he said, the character just whose conflict is shown on screen, जिसका conflict screen पे दिखता है, you should accept that character. Otherwise, there is a character which is the protagonist, but there is no conflict and it is not seen, then it would be a very boring character to play. Even if it's a very lengthwise, it is big and it is like long character and you are the protagonist, but you need to have a conflict which is shown on screen. So then he said, then the length and everything, it will take care of itself. You are an actress, you'll make yourself the visible in whatever small length you have. Right. So that has been my thing. Is the whatever character I'm asked to play, can I see her conflict on screen? Is she going through some conflict? Right. And is it shown on screen, not somewhere else? Like, is it shown on screen in a way? Like, for example, Razia's conflict is shown on screen, You can see what she's going through for that matter. So that has been my test for accepting and rejecting. Like, you need to give me that conflict and you need to challenge me also. Like, if the same kind of roles keep coming, then also sometimes like, I'm like, no, I have done this before. So like, that is also there. Like, it has to be, that has been my important thing. Like, give me something new. So that also has been good that, no one has slotted me. The creators are slotting me in a particular kind of character. Oh, this character, then Amruta. It's not like that. I want people to think that, any kind of character, you can approach. And that is what I was telling you about, that, again, I'll feel maybe something new comes, I'll feel vulnerable, I'll feel scared, and that would be fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I start feeling, I know how to do this, hey, let back, then what fun is that?
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, convenience sometimes is quite boring. I think that's something which I've realized. But, you talked about getting slotted in, Amruta. But I do feel, though, a lot of the times, I feel like the ratio of female actors getting boxed in or getting stereotyped or typecast is much more than perhaps a male actor. Do you agree with this? And how do you think this can change going forward?
Like in earlier times, this was truer, more true, what you are saying. And I was very scared at that time that, I don't want this to happen to me, But as we discussed some minutes back, the OTT and all these things are changing this thing. But you are right that female actors can get typecast more easily, but now it's not happening. For example, there are many different kind of roles generated, like a series like a Fleabag, for example. Women they are creating for themselves, right? She has written it, she is directing it, so like it is a very powerful time to be in and not get typecasting.
Yeah,
I think that won't happen now. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I guess seeing like prominent actresses from the 90s, like Pooja Bhatt, Sushmita Sen, sort of coming onto the digital space now, even Kajol as well with Tribang. So it's quite wonderful to see. I guess that's a step towards a progression, isn't it? A step towards a new direction, isn't it?
Yeah, so Pooja also kept saying that, that at the age of 49, she comes back, and how, with such a strong character, and how, so that is a very powerful space to be in as a female actor, as you were saying,
Absolutely. But I think, speaking of going forward, and on a final note, Amruta, I know you have Dhamaka in the pipeline, and I think we're all looking forward to that. As I mentioned as well earlier, it's definitely going to be something which we've not seen you do as much, like a sort of role which gives a very different dimension to you as an actor, which I'm definitely looking forward to. But besides that, what else can we look forward to from you?
Right now, nothing. Like I'm also curious what am I looking forward to doing? So let's see what my manager is bringing me. And, I'm also waiting. So let's hope that I have something grand to tell you soon.
Wonderful. But I think on that note, Amruta, it's been an absolute joy to speak with you. I think I really enjoyed every moment of this conversation. I've waited for quite some time actually to interview you. I think since probably Gully Boy, I think, because that was the prominent work of yours that I had seen. But I'd obviously heard of your work before then, but I've always wanted to speak with you. And I'm really glad that you could take the time out to speak with me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And it was really unique because we talked about so many different things. So thank you for making it so unique for me. It's because of you that it was unique, because I keep giving interviews, but it's your job to make it unique, and you have made it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. You've made my day. Thank you so much, Amruta. But wishing you all the very best for Dhamaka, and congratulations to Bombay Begums once again.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Thank you, Amruta. Take care.
Bye.